But I have to tell you that over the course of several years, as I talk to friends and family and neighbors, when I think about members of my own staff who are incredibly committed, monogamous relationships, same-sex relationships,
on training wheels,
who are raising kids together.
Training
when I
wheel
think
president.
about those
He didn't have a decision on this before he ran. Now he has a decision.
Sailors who are out there fighting on my behalf, and yet
over there,
even now that
the
Bill
Yanks
Headstone
are
is gone,
coming.
because,
The Yanks are coming.
They're not able to commit themselves in a marriage.
Why not do it in the road?
I've just concluded that
if it feels good, do it. Why not do it in the road?
It is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.
Now, here's the question. Let's have an intelligent discussion about gay marriage without any snickering, without any jokes, because either the president just committed the greatest blunder of his entire political life, or the fix is in, he knows he's going to win, and it doesn't matter what he does. Because he saw what happened in North Carolina just yesterday. 60-40, it was not 51-49. Overwhelmingly, people said no to gay marriage. It's the same in 31 states now. Not one state has said yes to gay marriage. The man can't live in such a bubble where he thinks the entire country is the Upper West Side of Manhattan or certain regions of San Francisco or Austin, Texas. The fact of the matter is the large majority of Americans support traditional marriage, period. Now, when asked to vote on it, which is called democracy, whether you like it or not, most people say no. It's unhealthy for a child to think that way. It does not help them become a mature, healthy adult. That's how the majority of Americans think. So I ask you, Obama just came out and supported homosexual marriage. He did it on Always Bolshevik Communications, ABC. Always Bolshevik Communications, ABC. Backs gay marriage. Now, this is a day after North Carolina slam dunked no on gay marriage. So you have to say, is he crazy? Is Axelrod nuts? Or there's only two reasons he would do this today. I'll give you the two reasons. One, he knows the fix is in and they're going to win. So it doesn't matter if he supports the gay community now or not, because they're going to rig the vote. Or two, the gay community is so powerful financially that they said to him in no uncertain terms, either you come out for gay marriage the day after North Carolina, or we're withholding $100 million for you from Katzenberg, Ratzenberg, Matzenberg, Spatzenberg, and Spatzenberg, and the others in Hollywood who put him in power to begin with. There's no other explanation. This only makes political sense if the fix is in. So did Obama just commit political suicide? Is the fix in? How do you feel about it? I don't really want to discuss the issue of gay marriage per se. I think we've done that over the years. I think we're pretty clear on both sides of the aisle what the arguments are for and against a gay marriage. But the fact of the matter is, the issue really is now about Obama and his advisors. Did you hear what I just said to you? The phone number is 1-800-449-8255. Sacramento, Terry, welcome to the program.
Yeah, hi. I'm a conservative gay woman. We are out there. And I really don't believe that Obama does anything that's not completely calculated.
Okay, so having said that, why would he make such a move today? I don't get it.
I don't understand it either. I really don't. I don't get where he comes from half the time, but I hope to God that you're right and that it backfires against him and that he loses a lot of votes and he does not get reelected. I mean,
That's very interesting. You should say, again, without getting into the whole gay issue, because I told you I'm a sexual libertarian. I'll say it over and over again until finally it resonates. I know it was picked up by at least one talk show host who was self-identified in the same way because it makes so much sense. When I was a TV star for 3 months in San Francisco, I had several off-duty police officers as a bodyguard, one of whom was a very tall, tough lesbian woman who loved my show to death, by the way.
I love your show. In San Francisco, it's very hard to get. I have to drive where there's no overhead wires so I can get it on.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, you know, Terry, I'm banned in London. I'm banned in the UK and banned in San Francisco. What does that tell you about San Francisco?
Well, Well, I'll tell you what my partner did for my birthday last year. She bought me a T-shirt that said "Anybody but Obama." And
So now this is a great question. Why would conservative lesbian women be against Obama? What don't you like about him?
Well, we're both in the medical profession. I think Obamacare is just. I'm not a socialist. I'm flat out.
So in other words, your sexual orientation is one thing, but your social policies are not tied into the whole left-wing cabal just because of your sexual orientation. That's very unusual, by the way, Terry. It's very unusual, and I've said this for a long time, that minority groups in general are basically hooked into the whole leftist conundrum based upon their minority orientation. That includes sexual orientation. But I don't know that they're mutually connected. Why must you be a leftist if you're, let's say, a Hispanic or black or Jewish or gay in this case? Why must you automatically pick up the whole leftist doctrine?
I don't. I really feel like, I live my life. I pay my taxes. I'm a good citizen. I do good work. And my sexual orientation is very small on the scale of who I am. And once you start labeling people, and then you start judging people. So if you just leave it alone, I've had this argument with people who are very big supporters of gay marriage. Now, I frankly don't care whether one way or the other, whether it passed, and I know I got lambasted for that several times. But what I've never been, I guess I've never really believed in a cause except getting Obama out of office.
But why would Obama, who is so politically astute, and Axelrod, who's a political genius, why would they have Obama change his position from Monday to Wednesday? Why?
I don't know, and I don't know. It frightened me because there's something. He's too calculated. I'm not going to say he's smart because, of course, we've never seen his transcripts. He's too calculated and too narcissistic not to have something up his sleeve with this.
Right. So my initial, when I started the show today, I said there's only two explanations in my mind. I like to break things down into two or three. The first is he did this because he knows he's going to win. It's a slam dunk. In other words, they own the voting machines, or they have some knowledge that we don't have. The fix is in. That's the first thing that came to mind. The second one is that the big bucks donors in Hollywood have said to him, you have to come out and support gay marriage, or we're not going to give you the $100 million plus.
That's a tough one. I don't know. But God, I hope he doesn't get reelected again. I pray to God.
Well, it's a disaster for working people. I really don't care what your sexual orientation is. If this man is reelected, taxes are going to be raised along the lines of France, and our standing in the world will diminish even further. The world will emerge into a greater chaotic state than it is right now. It's a disaster. The man is a terrible shepherd of this nation.
He scares me single-handedly more than anybody ever
that's
has.
How many people feel, and I don't think it's limited to yourself. Well, again, I'll do my petty little joke. I'll send you a copy of Trickle Down Tyranny if you promise not to rip the cover off.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I would not.
All right. Well, thanks for an intelligent call. And this shows you, really, I have to now blow my own listeners' horns. It just shows you the diversity of my listenership and how they transcend the stereotypes that so many people portray in the media about so-called conservatives. It's not a monolithic, group. Conservatives come in all different shapes, forms, sexualities, you name it. And it's really not about sexuality. This is the problem, is that so many people think that if you're conservative, you're anti-this or you're anti-that. I would turn it around. I'd say if you're conservative, you're pro this and you're pro that. That's what I would like to get across as a message. So what would my message be? Borders, language, culture. I defined that in 1994 as my message. And if I were running for office, which I am not doing because I consider my radio show my office, I'm a sort of member, what do they call it in England, without portfolio, kind of, I don't know what they call it. But I have no portfolio, but basically I am a politician. Make no mistake about it. Talk show hosts are unelected politicians. If you want to say that we're czars, you're wrong because we're not appointed by anybody. We establish ourselves based upon our wit and our wisdom, or we don't exist. Let's be very clear about it. In other words, if talent still counts in America, then we count. The day they say the talent doesn't count, which is what they're doing on a daily basis, saying, oh, you have to have talk show hosts of a certain color, a certain race. Why? Why? Why must you? If they don't have an audience, why must you listen to them? Well, take a look at your universities today and you'll know the answer. Take a look at what's gone on because of this multicultural thinking. Take a look at what it's done. It's been decimating. It's decimated our universities. But I don't want to get too far off the topic. The fact of the matter is borders, language, culture is my motto, if you want to put it that way. It's what I stand for. I don't see why anybody could stand against that. I have no idea why that would not resonate with any American. Is there any American who thinks we should have open borders and have more MS-13 gang members in our cities killing innocent people? Excuse me, step up to the plate and tell me about that. Okay, so you agree with me that borders is a good motto. Secure borders. Language, English only. I don't want to press one for English. I don't want to have to press anything for English. I come from immigrant parents. My father was certainly an immigrant who didn't speak English. He didn't tell me to learn my native language. I didn't go to school, to learn his native language. He didn't tell me to go to school and take a second language. English was never a second. What do you mean English is a second language? What do you think our schools are broke for? ESL? How many billions of dollars are wasted on these programs? ESL? Are you crazy? English is the first language. Learn it or relegate yourself to second-class citizenship would be my description of what's going to happen to you. You're going to wind up in a secondary state in your life if you can't speak English properly. Every immigrant knows that. So borders, language, culture. What do I mean by culture? That's the one that everyone says, well, okay, now what do you really mean by culture? You can't figure out what the American culture is? Let's start with a simple statement. The U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Does that bother you? No. So if you believe in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, English as the language of the land, the glue that holds us together, and secure borders, then you actually are a good member of the savage nation. Welcome to Borders, Language, and Culture. You may find out that you really are a conservative after all. You don't have to define yourself as such, because I really don't even like the word conservative, to be frank with you. It's overused. It's understood. It's too didactic. It's too simplistic. In fact, I remember when Nixon ran for office, when people started to describe themselves, they came out of the closet and said, oh, I'm a conservative. I rebelled against that label. I didn't like it. I thought that the word conservative per se was too self-satisfied. You hear what I just said to you? I don't think anyone who's considered a conservative in the media has ever said that, because it's almost like you don't even understand what I'm saying. When people say, oh, I'm a conservative, it's sort of a too self-satisfied pat answer for who you are. So I've always defined myself, for 18 years in the radio at least, as an independent conservative. Now, many have followed, which is good. I'm a leader. I accept that. I'm a leader, period. Many people have followed me into battle, but the fact of the matter is, I don't like simple phrases for a human being. We're too complicated. We're too multidimensional to define ourselves with a single word. I'm a this, I'm a that. Well, I'm not a this or I'm not a that. Are you a this or an a that? You're a multifaceted individual. Well, here's an interesting email. I'm not going to name the person, but a friend in the media just sent me something from Gawker website where the gay left is totally furious at Obama. They don't like his sort of flip-floppy statement on gay marriage. He says that gay couples should be able to marry, but Obama doesn't believe they have a right to do so. So therefore, they're saying it was equivocal. And they believe that Obama did this hastily in order to cover his back after Biden came out and put his foot in his mouth in his foot. Biden has foot and mouth disease, but the fact of the matter is Biden came out in favor of gay marriage, I think, yesterday.